All right, YouTube, we've got another project on our hands. This time it's not going to be a project for me. I have a client that asked me to build a bench, which also is going to act as a shoe stand or, a front door entrance bench for shoes and other things. So I'm going to show you how I plan it out, the wood we're using, and other processes. So just as a quick sketch, I drew this up just so the client would have some idea of what she wanted. And she liked it, she approved it. So this is what we're gonna go with. I'm gonna be using 3/4 inch plywood and this backer board right here. I got the trim pieces, and this is gonna be used for the top. It's gonna be stained. So the bottom is gonna be white, and the top is gonna be stained in a walnut stain. All right, so as far as my wood, as you can see, I'm gonna have a depth of about 14 inches. So since it's gonna be about 14 inches, I'm gonna have to cut these sheets of plywood down. Right now, they're about 2 feet long. So I'm gonna rip it down 14 inches, and from there, I'll be able to have a working area for my top and my support for my bottom. So let's get to that part. All right, so now at this point, I've gotten most of my pieces roughly cut. Now I'm gonna work on the actual core structure, meaning the top, the sides, and the base of it. And I'm gonna attach those using my Craig jig. So for those of you that don't know, Craig jig is just a little device that goes on the end of your piece of wood that will allow you to screw in and connect the two pieces at a 90-degree angle. This is a very helpful tool. So let's get to it. All right, and with that, as you can see, this bench is starting to take shape. Got the top on, the bottom on. That white trim piece is gonna go directly in front of it and all along the sides. and I'm gonna have another piece as a top board. So this will not be seen. So this will be underneath. And then I still have my two interior pieces to do. Those will add extra rigidity to the middle of it. And I'm also gonna add some supports underneath, because I don't know if you could tell, but right now there's a little bit of flex in the center of this board since there are no supports spanning this entire frame. So we're gonna add in supports to the bottom, and it's gonna be sturdy enough to stand on and jump. All right, now that we got a majority of the pieces cut for our project, I'm gonna be starting on the backer board, which is gonna go behind everything and is also gonna be seen once you look at the bottom through to the back panel of it. So let's get to that. All right, now for this portion of the build, I'm currently debating on how I'm going to attack these trim pieces. Now, I have some extra wood laying around, so I think I'm gonna take some of this and put it directly in the middle, just like that, to frame this like a picture frame. So I have to cut two more pieces out of this extra piece right here for these other two, and I have these two right here. So yeah, we're gonna get to that, and I'm gonna use my handy dandy Craig jig to attach it all together. All right, almost there. Last thing I have to do is just attach this, but as you can see, it's coming along nicely. So now we're gonna work on the top and attaching this face to the actual structure. All right, and as you can see, we've got it all glued up. We've got our wood filler filling in all the creases, all the holes where the nails were filled in. We're gonna let this dry up. Once it dries, we're gonna sand it down and then give it a coat of paint. And we're gonna work on the top for it. So this is gonna be the new top orientation. As you can see, there are 3 pieces of wood here. They fit comfortably on top. And I think this looks much nicer. And the client agreed. So we're gonna go with this orientation. So I'm gonna stain this wood. I'm gonna trim it down on all 3 so that way they're the same length, and attach it to the top. And there you go, all 3 pieces cut exact same size. Now the orientation of these is going to change. I still have to stain them, and I still have to paint this and sand this down. But before I do that, I still need to cut my picture frame bracing for the outside. And that's what these 3 pieces of wood are for. So let's measure it out and cut it. All right, now that we've got the top all connected and glued up on the sides, we're gonna let it dry overnight before we stain it and before we sand it. But this, on the other hand, we can start putting a coat of paint on. So we're just going to sand down all of our wood filler and even out this wood coating on the top, so that way it's all one size and level. And then we're gonna start painting it. And once I'm done painting that, I'll let that dry overnight, and then we'll work on the top, and then we'll join the 2 together. All right, now that the glue has dried on the top, we're going to sand this down so that way it's all even and there are no rough spots, and then we're gonna stain it. All right, now that we have everything stained, we have everything painted, everything is dry, it's time to mate the two surfaces together. So I just have my top flipped upside down, and I'm going to take the bottom and flip that upside down on top, center it, drill in my holes, attach them, and then put my backing piece on the back of it. And then it'll be done. And just like that, we are all done. This project here was quite a challenge. Trying to get all the parameters in there that I wanted, trying to get everything the way I envisioned it, but it turned out spectacular. What do you guys think? Well, that'll do it for this one. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below if you want to see something else done.